Have you ever missed someone so much that it quietly reshaped your whole world? Not in a dramatic movie scene kind of way, more like a slow shift you only notice when everything feels slightly off, even the things you once felt sure about. I am standing in a room filled with glowing screens and the low hum of machines that never sleep. Usually this place feels powerful, like I'm in control of something bigger than myself. Tonight it just feels empty. All I can think about is the space where you should be. It is strange how I have handled pressure that could break most people, yet the emptiness on your side of the bed is what brings me to my knees. Do you feel it too? That quiet pull, like the rules of the universe bent a little the day we met? Talking to you like this is easier than saying it to anyone else. When I speak to you, even through a camera, I do not have to pretend to be stronger or smoother or more put together than I really am. I can just be honest. And the honest truth is that I miss you in a way that makes my chest ache. Not loud sobbing or dramatic scenes. It is softer than that. It is the kind of ache that shows up after midnight when the lights are off and there is no one left to impress. I keep thinking about that moment you said you might leave. You did not even say you would, just might. It is incredible how one small word can drain the warmth from a room. You said it gently, like you were trying to cushion the fall before I even felt it. I smiled back at you because smiling is what I do when I feel things slipping out of my control. But inside, something fragile gave way. I have told you before that not much scares me. I have faced public failure, impossible deadlines, and moments where everything seemed to be collapsing, and I kept going. That was not bravado. It was true. But this is different. This is you. The thought of losing you feels like driving fast on a dark road and suddenly realizing the map is gone. I think about the first time you looked at me like you could already see past all the noise. Not the polished version people recognize, not the one framed by headlines and expectations. You saw the man who lets his coffee go cold because he forgets to drink it. The one who overthinks at night and pretends he does not. You asked questions no one else asks. You did not try to fix me or impress me. You just listened, really listened. Do you know how rare that is? My mother noticed it right away. She always reads people better than I do. She watched you laugh, watched the way your eyes softened when you looked at me, and later she told me, very quietly, that you felt like home. I think she was right. I do not need perfect answers from you. I do not need promises carved in stone. I just need you to know that what I feel is real, steady, and deeper than I ever planned to fall. Loving you has not made my world smaller. It has made it warmer, brighter, and more honest. And even in this quiet room full of machines, with all their noise and light, the only thing I truly want is the simple human comfort of you beside me. I still think about the way you hesitated before you answered me that night. The small pause, like your heart was deciding how honest it could afford to be. And the way you looked at me when you thought no one else was watching. That look said more than anything you actually spoke out loud. Later, my mother pulled me aside. She did not smile, but she did not look upset either. That is how she gets when something truly matters. Calm on the surface, already bracing underneath. She just said, be gentle with her heart. Simple, direct. The kind of warning that carries both love and fear at the same time. She always imagines the worst case first, then hopes I will prove her wrong. And now, we are here. You quietly wondering if you should go. Me acting like I am handling it better than I am. My mother asking careful questions that are not really questions at all. Can you feel how tight everything has become? Like we are standing on a narrow edge and one honest sentence could tip our whole future in either direction. I want you to know, I see why you are scared. Loving me is not light or simple. It comes with noise, distance, expectations, and stories people create about us before they even know our names. I have watched strangers place weight on your shoulders just because you stand next to me. That kind of pressure can make anyone question if the love is worth the cost. Sometimes I wonder that too. Is love supposed to feel this heavy, or is it just the world that makes it so? But here's the truth I do not say to anyone else. I am scared too. Not of the headlines, not of the chaos, not of the long hours or the constant motion. I am scared of something quieter. I am scared of waking up one day and realizing I let the person I was meant to build a life with walk away because I was too busy, too distracted, too slow to reach for her hand when she needed me to. So when you look at me right now, what do you see? Do you see someone already drifting, half lost in responsibilities and noise? Someone hard to reach, even when he is right in front of you? Or do you still see the man who sat with you on the floor, backs against the couch, talking about nothing until it somehow turned into everything? The one who forgot the world existed for a while because being there with you was enough. I'm not asking to trap you or convince you to stay out of guilt. I just need to understand. If you decide to leave, I want to know which version of me you are walking away from. The distant one I never meant to become, or the real one who loves you more deeply than he knows how to say without his voice shaking. Because if there is still time, if there is still a chance that we are just scared and not finished, then I want to choose you out loud, not later, not when it is safer, now. Do you feel this pause between us? That quiet breath where everything could still change? Have you noticed how silence can grow louder than any argument once two people stop pretending? That is where we are. No raised voices, no dramatic exits, just this thick quiet between us, like it is waiting for one of us to be brave enough to break it. You are looking at me carefully, like every word has to pass a safety check before it leaves your mouth. I know that habit. I have lived in it for years, measuring risk, choosing language that keeps damage low. I do it in meetings, in crises, in rooms where one sentence can cost millions. But this is harder. Here, the risk is not money or reputation. It is you. I keep thinking about the night my mother understood you were not just passing through my life. She never announces these things. She just observes. You were in the living room explaining something with your hands, getting animated, completely forgetting to be self-conscious. She stood in the kitchen doorway watching us. I saw the smallest smile touch her face. Later she said, very calmly, "She makes you human." It did not feel like praise. It felt like a reminder. Because being human means you can be hurt. It means you can lose something that matters. And right now, you are hurting. I see it in the way your shoulders tighten when my phone lights up, in how you hesitate before asking if I will be home for dinner, like you are not even sure if home still means the same thing to both of us. Have you ever felt like you were competing with someone's future? Not another person, but their ambition, their mission, the endless road they keep chasing. I never wanted you to feel like you were standing in second place behind my life's work, but wanting something and living it out are very different things. Last night you asked me a question I tried to dodge. You said, if everything fell apart tomorrow, would you still choose me? I answered with a joke, something polished and clever. I talked about resilience, about rebuilding. You did not laugh. You just nodded, like you had already adjusted to an answer you did not want. That was the moment I realized how close I am to losing you. So let me answer you now without the performance, without the carefully managed tone. Yes, I would choose you. And the fact that you had to ask tells me I have failed to show you that in ways I never slowed down enough to see. I was busy solving problems out there while creating one right here. My mother saw it before I did. She told me she is not asking me to promise a future no one can control. She is asking whether I know how to make you a priority in the present. That hit me harder than any criticism I have ever faced because she was right. You are not asking for guarantees. You just want to know that when everything else gets loud, you are not background noise in my life, and you should never feel guilty for wanting that. Love is not about shrinking yourself so the other person can chase the horizon. It is about choosing each other over and over, especially when it would be easier not to. You told me you were tired, not the kind of tired sleep fixes, the kind that settles in your chest after you have had to prove your worth one too many times. Tired of explaining why you matter. Tired of defending us to people who think loving me should be reward enough. Tired of being the strong one when all you really want is to feel safe in someone else's arms. When you said that, something inside me gave way. I realized I have been asking you to survive inside my chaos instead of creating a place where you can finally rest. I love you, and somehow I still manage to hurt you without ever meaning to. That is the quiet tragedy no one prepares you for. My mother asked me if I loved you. I said yes right away. No doubt, no pause. She nodded, then asked, "Then why does she look like she is already mourning?" I have not been able to shake that question, because grief does not only come after someone leaves. Sometimes it shows up when someone feels alone for too long while still standing right beside you. You are at the edge now. I can feel it. Not emotional or reckless, just calm and decided, like you are trying to leave before staying costs you more than you can afford. And I cannot even call that selfish. Protecting your heart is not a betrayal, it is survival. But here is the truth I should have said sooner and clearer. I do not want a future that does not have you in it. Not as something attached to my life, not as a background presence. I want you as my partner, the one who brings me back when I get lost in my own head, the one my mother trusts to challenge me when I am wrong, the one who makes my life feel human, not just successful. She told me something else I cannot ignore. She said, "If she leaves, do not tell yourself it is because you are impossible to love. Tell yourself it is because you did not slow down." That is what scares me. Slowing down means feeling everything. And feeling everything right now means admitting how close I am to losing you. So I am saying this as plainly as I can. I need you. Not because I would fall apart without you, but because just surviving is not the same as truly living. You make me present. You quiet the noise in my head. You make the future feel like something warm and shared instead of just another goal on a list. If the person you loved finally stopped pretending to be unshakable and told you they were scared, would you see weakness or would you see trust? You have not left yet. That means something. There is still a thread holding you here. Maybe it is love. Maybe it is hope. Maybe it is the question neither of us has answered yet about who we could be if we stopped drifting past each other while standing in the same room. I am here now, fully, not distracted, not halfway gone, just here with you. Are you still here with me? Have you noticed how the hardest conversations rarely begin with words? They begin with a look. That is where we are. You sitting across from me, hands wrapped around a cup that has gone cold, and both of us knowing this moment matters more than anything we have been avoiding. Your eyes are steady, but they are tired. Not angry. That is what scares me most. Anger still reaches, still hopes to be heard. This look feels different. It feels like someone quietly preparing to set something down for good. My mother is in the other room. You know how she is. She hears everything even when she pretends she does not. She does not interrupt. She observes. She waits for the moment that actually matters. Right now I can feel her concern in the air, not judgment, just worry. For you, for me, for what might be about to slip through our hands. Then you say it, calm, clear, no blame in your voice. I don't know how to stay without losing myself. That is the sentence I have been running from, the one that hurts more than any fight ever could, because you cannot argue with someone telling you the truth about their own heart. I lean back, not because I feel distant, but because I need space to breathe. Every instinct in me wants to fix it, to analyze it, to break it into pieces I can manage. I know how to solve problems. I know how to build systems that hold under pressure. But you are not a problem. You are the person I love. And love does not respond to logic models or performance plans. Do you know how rare it is for someone to say what you just said? Most people leave first and explain later. You are still here, still giving me the dignity of hearing you before you decide. That tells me how much of yourself you have already poured into us. So I tell you something I do not usually admit. I tell you that part of me is afraid to slow down because I worry everything I have outrun will finally catch me. Expectations, old failures, the fear of being ordinary in a world that only applauds the extraordinary. I keep moving because motion feels safer than stillness. You listen. You do not try to correct me. And in your quiet attention, I see it clearly. I have been asking you to stand in the middle of my storm without ever building you a place to take cover. That is when my mother steps in, not to take control, just to steady the room. She says your name softly, then she says, "Love should never feel like a constant audition." She looks at me and adds, "And it should not feel like a battlefield either." Her voice is calm, but I know her well enough to hear what sits underneath it. She is thinking about the woman I could lose. She is thinking about the son who might carry that regret for the rest of his life. You ask her if she thinks you should leave. She takes a breath before answering. That pause holds more care than a long speech ever could. She looks at you with the kind of tenderness she rarely shows, like she is already holding space for a future that may not include her. I think you should stay only if you are chosen every day, she says. Not when it is convenient, not when it looks good from the outside, but in the quiet, ordinary moments where love is a decision, not a performance. And as she says it, I realize that staying is not the hard part. Choosing you clearly and consistently is. Every day. My mother lets the words settle. Then she leaves the room because she understands this part belongs to us. No audience, no rescue, just the truth, open and unguarded between two people who have run out of places to hide. You tell me you pictured a life with me, not the public parts, the quiet ones, slow mornings, small arguments that end in laughter, growing older next to someone who never has to question whether they matter, and then you admit the fear that has been sitting underneath all of it, that if you stay, you will always feel second. Not because I do not love you, but because I do not know how to stop chasing a world that never stops demanding more. That lands hard. I have spent years trying to build things that last, careers, projects, legacies, and somehow I failed to see that you are not separate from that. You are one of the things that was supposed to last. I move closer, not to persuade you, not to corner you into an answer, just to be near you while you think, to show you I am here, not performing, not strategizing, just present. I tell you I do not want you to make yourself smaller to fit into my life. I want to make space, real space, not emotional promises that disappear when things get busy again, but choices that show up in ordinary moments when no one else is watching. There is a look in your eyes that almost undoes me. The kind of look someone has when they want to believe with their whole heart, but are afraid of what it will cost them if they are wrong. Hope standing shoulder to shoulder with self-respect. Love trying to negotiate with fear. Then you say something I do not expect. I don't need you to slow down forever. I just need to know you'll stop when I'm falling behind. That is it. Not perfection, not grand sacrifices, just awareness, intention, the willingness to turn toward each other before distance turns into damage. I take your hands without thinking. They are cold, and I warm them instinctively, like my body understands something my pride took too long to learn. Care should not be complicated. It should be natural. I tell you clearly and without rushing that I do not want a version of success that costs me you. That if you are the woman I hope to build a life with, then this is the moment I choose differently than I have before. Not just in words, but in the pattern of my life. My mother appears in the doorway again. She does not interrupt. She just watches. There is no fear in her face now. Maybe relief. Maybe cautious hope. The kind that knows nothing is guaranteed but sees that something important has shifted. You have not said yes. You have not said no. But you are still here. And right now, that feels like everything. Can you feel how close we are to a change that will not be loud or dramatic, but lasting? The moment someone decides to stay is not fireworks. It is quiet, steady, almost invisible from the outside. That is where we are now. We sit there with nothing dramatic to hold us up. No speeches left, just the quiet sound of you breathing beside me. It is slower now, not calm exactly, but not bracing either. Like your body is undecided, but your heart has stepped a little closer. We did not solve everything. I do not want to pretend we did. This kind of love does not tie itself into a perfect knot. It stays a little messy, a little tender to the touch. But something has shifted. I see it in the way you are sitting, no longer angled toward the door like you might need a quick exit. Your hands are open now. You lean your head back and close your eyes for a second, just long enough to picture what staying might feel like. My mother moves quietly through the kitchen. A few minutes later, she brings tea. That is her way. She does not make big emotional speeches. She shows care in small, practical gestures. She sets a cup in front of you gently, like she understands this moment is fragile and not hers to control. Then she leaves us alone again. No pressure, just trust. That gesture means more than it looks like. It means she sees you as someone who could still be here tomorrow. Then you ask me something I was not ready for. If I stay, will you resent me? The question hits deep because it tells me you know my shadows as well as my strengths. You are not afraid I will fail and blame you. You are afraid I will succeed and quietly blame you for what I gave up along the way. That kind of fear does not come from insecurity. It comes from paying attention. So I answer slowly, carefully, because this deserves the truth. I tell you I have resented circumstances before. Deadlines, expectations, the weight of my own ambition. But I have never resented someone I truly loved. Resentment grows when we act like something was stolen when really it was offered without honesty. If I choose you, really choose you, then that choice belongs to me, not to you, not to fate. I will not keep score in the background. I will not turn my sacrifices into quiet weapons years from now. Love cannot survive that kind of accounting. I ask if you believe me, or if you are still bracing for the version of me who disappears when life gets hard. Then I stand up and switch off my phone, not in a dramatic gesture, not to prove a point, just calmly, deliberately. You watch the movement like you are not sure it is real. I tell you this is not a show, it is a signal. Because if you are going to stay, I have to learn how to be here without always keeping one exit lit in the background. You tell me you are afraid to hope again, that the thought of leaving once already feels like it tore something inside you, and doing it a second time might finish the job. Hearing that lands deeper than anything else tonight. It means part of you has already started saying goodbye in your own head just to survive the waiting. I step closer. Not with big promises about a flawless future. I cannot offer that. What I can offer is presence. I tell you I will not disappear into silence when things get heavy. I tell you that if my world starts pulling me too far, I will listen when you say my name. Not as a complaint, not as pressure, but as a lifeline I choose to hold on to. My mother watches us one last time before giving us the room. She does not speak. She just gives you a small nod. It is not approval she is offering. It is recognition. A quiet message that says, your feelings matter here, whatever you decide. You lean into me slightly. Not collapsing, not surrendering, just enough to see if I will hold you without closing my grip. I do, gently, like you are someone to be cared for, not claimed. Your breathing shifts. That tiny change says more than any speech could. This moment is fragile, honest, alive. You say you are willing to try, not forever, not blindly, just try. And somehow, that feels bigger than any promise of eternity. Trying means you have not given up. It means there is still a path forward, even if we cannot see it clearly yet. It means I have not already lost you. We sit there for a long time without talking. No tension, no rehearsed lines, just two people sharing the same quiet space without armor. And it hits me that this is what I have really been chasing all along. Not speed, not achievement, not applause. This feeling, the steady certainty of someone choosing to be here, even knowing it is not risk-free. You are not my escape. You are my anchor. Tomorrow will still be complicated. The world will still pull at me. Your fears will not disappear overnight, and neither will mine. But tonight, you are here. I am here. And that is not small. You look up at me and ask softly, are you still crying for me? I do not answer right away. I just hold you a little closer, because the truth is, the tears are different now. The fear is still there, but something else is growing beside it. Hope. Careful, quiet, real. You have not left. I do not want you to. And this right here feels less like an ending and more like the first breath of a beginning. Love does not always arrive with noise. Sometimes it stays, and in staying it slowly rearranges everything. That is what is happening now, in small, undeniable ways. You are still here, and I feel that with every part of me. It feels like the world narrowed its focus just enough to hold this moment still. I am not pretending everything is solved. That would cheapen what this really is. Love is not a switch you turn on and leave. It is a choice you come back to, again and again. Some days easily, some days with effort. But tonight I know this much. You did not walk away when it would have been simpler, and I did not shut down when it would have been safer. My mother went to bed a little lighter than usual. You probably would not have noticed, but I did. She trusts quiet when it feels settled instead of tense. She trusts you now. Not blindly, not completely, but enough. And from her, that kind of trust is not given. It is earned. You asked me earlier if I would still choose you when things get heavy. I fumbled that answer before, so let me say it clearly now with nothing competing for my attention. Yes, not because love makes life easier, not because it looks good from the outside, but because every future I imagine that feels real, you are in it. And saying that out loud is terrifying for someone like me, because once I admit that, I cannot pretend this was casual. I cannot act like you were just passing through my life. You matter in a way that changes how I move through the world. You are still afraid. I can feel it. I am afraid too. But fear does not always mean something is wrong. Sometimes it means this is the thing that actually counts, the thing worth risking comfort for. If you have ever loved someone who scared you not because they were dangerous, but because they mattered, then you know this feeling. That quiet pull between holding on and protecting yourself. That moment where you wonder what happens if you stay and everything changes. I do not know exactly how our story unfolds. I do not know which days will feel light and which ones will test us. But I know this. I do not want a life where I never asked you to stay. I do not want to look back and wonder who I could have been if I had been braver with my heart. So if you are still here, if some part of you is still listening, still hoping, then stay a little longer. Let's not rush to an ending just because the beginning was hard. And if this story stirred something in you, if it reminded you of someone you are afraid to lose, or someone you are quietly grateful is still beside you, do not keep that feeling to yourself. Share this with them. Let them know they matter. Because somewhere, someone is missing the person they love and wishing they had said one more honest thing before it was too late. Sometimes love does not need a grand gesture. Sometimes it just needs us to slow down and choose. Love is not perfect, but it is worth showing up for. If you believe that too, like this video, subscribe to the channel and send it to someone who deserves to be chosen today.